Hey y'all, what's up? It is your girl Jamie with another message from A.W.A.R.D House. So it is truly October, which means we got fall season, autumn, everything is in full effect, but not really though because we still getting some kind of warm weather. We really ain't got to fall yet. I love fall and I love the whole orange and brown and dark red and golden yellow leaves falling off the tree. Like, I just love that whole time of the year. I love how we have Halloween and the kids are out with their costumes on. That's at the end of October. We have Sweeties Day in the middle of October and everybody's celebrating love. We have the apple orchard going on. We have hunting houses. Football season is in full effect. The Lions are doing pretty good, so that is a major plus. I want to give them two thumbs up. Basketball season is jumping off, so it's just so many things that comes along with the fall. But one thing that's very important that I want to talk about is a disorder called seasonal affective disorder. Seasonal affective disorder is a disorder that starts and have its onset in the beginning of fall, and it lasts all the way to winter, and they also call it winter blues. Now, seasonal affective disorder is also known by SAD. So a lot of times when people say they suffer from SAD, it's not they're not suffering from sadness, they're suffering from seasonal affective disorder. There are two types of seasonal affective disorder. We have the summer version and we have the fall winter version. Now, I'm not really going to talk about the summer because a lot of people don't suffer from the summer version. You rarely hear about the summer version. What's important is the fall and winter version because so many people are starting to suffer from this disorder. It has been linked to some of the causes of suicide as well. I also researched and found that children are starting to suffer from the fall winter version of seasonal affective disorder. So I want to keep it going with that whole theme and try to spread some awareness about the fall and winter version of seasonal affective disorder. Now, this disorder is self explanatory because it is a mood disorder that affects your ability to function properly based on the different climates and seasonal change. And you probably be like, wait a minute, what is she saying? But it's actually true. The season causes you and something in your body to jump off and start to make a chemical imbalance, and it causes you to be sad and depressed. Now, when we look at seasonal affective disorder, it is also called winter blues. That is the nickname. So a lot of times you may hear somebody tell you they got the winter blues. They're talking about seasonal affective disorder. Some of the common symptoms for seasonal affective disorder, you have agitation, irritability, you're tired, your appetite changes, you have weight gain, you start to isolate yourself from the general public and your family. Your mood swings, that is the most common severe cause of seasonal affective disorder. Your moods are all over the place. You can go from happy to sad, laughing, crying, angry, fighting, all in a matter of seconds, and you never understand why, but majority of the time is because you may be suffering from seasonal affective disorder, especially when it's happening during the fall to the winter time of the year. And that is very important when it comes to diagnosing seasonal affective disorder. You want to look at the time frame that people are experiencing these symptoms, what symptoms they're actually experiencing, and most importantly, are they experiencing symptoms of major depressive disorder? Because again, seasonal affective disorder is classified under major depressive disorder. So you can't look at it and diagnose without looking at the whole picture. And that's the symptoms of MDD, the time frame, and the symptoms of seasonal affective disorder. We also want to take a look at a person's mood and how they're functioning because that is very important with this disorder as well. Now, some of the people who suffer from seasonal affective disorder are generally younger adults to mid 30 range. And those people are truly more common to suffer from this disorder. But you are starting to see a rise in children suffering from this disorder. Now, I can see why children may suffer from it, because in the summertime, our children are outside playing all the time. They're happy. They're loving life. But as fall come in, it's back to business. They're in school. They got homework going on. So by the time they finish their homework, they're not able to go outside and have fun because it may be too late, or the weather may prevent them from going out. So I can understand how they can have some emotional and mood swings because of the whole climate change and their life is changing. Women are far more likelier to suffer from seasonal affective disorder. I get that as well because, we carry our emotions on our sleeves, like we're emotional creatures. We do and say everything off our mood. Men don't. They can care less about their emotions and their mood. So they're not really going to be affected by seasonal affective disorder. So also, if you suffer from any type of bipolar, depression, schizophrenia, or even if someone in your family, like your mother or father, have a history of suffering from seasonal affective disorder, you are at higher risk of suffering from SAD. So we want to make sure we pay close attention to our history and our genes so that we can prevent ourselves from suffering from this disorder, or we can prevent the next generation from suffering from this disorder. Now, when it comes to the whole treatment for seasonal affective disorder, it's all about light therapy. But before I tell you about the light therapy, I got to tell you this. One interesting fact I found out about seasonal affective disorder is that it has to do with location too. So if you say far north and south of the equator, you are more likely to suffer from this disorder. And I used to think, like, how in the world is a location of where I stay gonna basically decide if I suffer from seasonal affective disorder? So again, thinking with the whole light thing, seasonal affective disorder is not caused by lack of light. They don't know what's the common cause of seasonal affective disorder. They know light is a contributing factor in people getting seasonal affective disorder. So when you're in the outs of the equator, you don't get that much sunlight as the people who stay in the middle of the equator. And if I can recall correctly, they say people who stay in Alaska are more likely to suffer from seasonal affective disorder. And that's basically because they don't get that much light in Alaska. They're dark a lot of the season, a lot of the whole year, basically. So I can really understand how light plays a major part in us having seasonal affective disorder. So when you're coming to the treatments of seasonal affective disorder, it's all about light therapy. And you may be wondering, like, what is light therapy? Because I was wondering too, like, you only go sit in front of a light bulb in my house, like, that's dangerous. They tell us all the time not to stare at light. Or you want me to go outside and sit on a porch all day long in the sunlight? Like, what do you mean by light? And so what it is it is a different light bulb than the light bulbs we have in our house. It is a big medicated type of light bulb, and it's inside a box. And it's called the light box. And what do? You just set it somewhere in your house, and you sit in front of this light box, and basically it turns your frowns into Kool-Aid smiles. Like, it brightens up your day. It makes you happy. It makes you laugh. Like, now, it doesn't work right away. It does take time for it to kick in. But it does work, and it's safer than taking chemicals, because I am not a strong believer in chemicals. Now, I don't mean weed. I mean, weed is a natural remedy. So if weed helps you stay happy, then be my guest and continue to smoke all you can until you're happy. Just be careful and make sure you're smoking responsibly. But when I mean chemicals, I mean stuff like pills and anti-anxiety pills, anti-depression pills, antipsychotic pills like SSRIs. Those to me are chemicals that we really don't need. When it comes to treating mental illnesses or certain type of disabilities, I feel like If therapy is an option, try therapy. Try working it out through therapy, whether it's light therapy, art therapy, music therapy, talk therapy. Like, it's so many different types of therapy, even animal therapy. If that works for you, try therapy. Let the chemicals be your last resort. Talk therapy is also a big treatment for seasonal affective disorder. And a lot of times people don't feel comfortable with talking to a therapist. If not, talk to someone in your family. If not, talk to a stranger. I know sometimes strangers can be the best method and best person to talk to, because they're not judging you. They don't know you. 9 times out of 10, they will never see you again. So it's important that we talk our problems out and celebrate love and just be there for one another, because you never know what can happen to a person. You never know if you're saving that person's life just by listening to them. Even if it is somebody in your family and you really don't mess with them like that, you don't like them, still give them a hug. Tell them you love them. Be there for them when they need you, because again, you never know. We have so many senseless crimes out here where people are dying accidentally, from car accidents, by the gun violence. Like, it's crazy. So we don't want to have to suffer from a seasonal affective disorder and fall victim to suicide, because I know from my experience and just being a survivor of suicide, a lot of times we try suicide because we feel like it's the only way out. We think that's the scapegoat, but it's not, because as you're a survivor, you're still fighting and you're still struggling, and you know that just by doing that, it's not ending all your problems. We have to figure out a way to stand up, talk our issues out, fix them the best way we know how, and continue to fight and continue to live our day, because it's so many things that's going on that we want to stop in this world. And we want to continue to spread awareness about seasonal affective disorder and other mental health disorders, as well as we want to keep going with the whole suicide prevention awareness and just getting that fatality rate is down as much as possible. Seasonal affective disorder is one of those types of disorders that'll catch you by surprise, because when you look around, you see a lot of people who are happy in the summertime, and when fall and winter come, they're like a totally different person. Now you know why, because they may be suffering from seasonal affective disorder. Now as well, when we see people out in the public, spread love to them, because you never know, you may be saving their life. One smile cure a lifetime of pain. If you see somebody in a store or something, and you see them with a frown on their